All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this webinar hosted by Pexip and Rocket.Chat. So my name is Bart Schepers. I'm the sales director for Rocket.Chat in Northern Europe. I will be your host for this webinar today. I'm happy to see that so many of you have chosen to be with us for the next 45 minutes. We will do our best to share our vision, give you insight into our product roadmap, plus a live demo, of course. Feel free to use the chat to ask us any questions, and we will do our best to answer them online. I would like to invite you to tell us where you're from, so please go ahead and test the chat. It's in the right down corner, so please try it out. With me in this webinar today are Michael Witham from Pexip and Bert Moons from Rocket.Chat. Gentlemen, would you please go ahead, introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'll jump in first, Bert, and take the opportunity. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Witham. I look after our Nordic organization inside Pexip. I've been with the company for 7 years nearly, and working within this space across the Nordics over the last 15 years. So super excited to be on board today and talk about one of my passions.
Thank you very much, Michael. And my name is Bert Moons. I'm heading up the solution engineering team within Rocket.Chat, and I'm very closely involved within the partnership with Pexip and Rocket.Chat. And I'm looking forward to also show you today a little bit how we deliver you guys a very nice solution as a Skype for Business replacement.
Thank you, guys. So let's get started. We have a packed agenda for today. First, for the next 10 minutes, I will share our thoughts on secure collaboration, what trends and regulations are driving our product roadmap. I will also give you a high-level overview of what a secure collaboration solution looks like, based on the discussion we've had with our customers, and many of you are actually online today in the webinar. I've seen that. Then Michael will take over from me. He will share his thoughts with you, what to consider when replacing Skype for Business and how to go about it. Bert will take over, and he has the privilege to share a couple of common use cases with you and give you a live demo of what Rocket.Chat combined with Pexip look like today. Then Bert and Michael will share our joint roadmap with you, because in the end, we want to offer you a modern, fast and easy way to work together. That's what this partnership with Pexip and Rocket.Chat is all about. Have you found the chat, by the way? Let me see how many people have found it. It's my contribution to the chat. All right. So, first of all, why do we see such a growing demand in solutions like Rocket.Chat and Pexip? Well, first of all, since the world has turned digital, crime has also turned digital, and the instability that we see all over the world has increased the awareness that we need to keep our society and our companies safe from cyber attacks. The second trend I would like to highlight is that our governments and companies are still in a digital transformation to enable working from home, but also to reduce costs and make it easier to work across government agencies. And with these new tools, we can truly work more efficiently. Finally, we see a lot of on-premise or self-managed solutions like Skype for Business becoming obsolete. Most software companies today have shifted their innovations to the cloud, and by doing so, they introduce a number of risks for their end users. So besides these global trends, when you look at Europe specifically, then first of all, in the Nordics, Sweden has taken the initiative to force government agencies to ensure that information regarding citizens will never be shared with foreign governments. I will tell you a little bit more about Sweden when we move to the next slide. The German government is also moving away from foreign cloud providers. And for example, in healthcare, they prefer the so-called matrix protocol. Adopting this protocol prevents vendor lock-in, and it's good to know that Rocket.Chat today is already matrix compliant. In order to protect its citizens, the European Commission is also aware of the increasing need for information security and has issued not only the GDPR legislation, but also NIS2 and DORA. Without going into details, the message behind all of this legislation is that as a government agency or any company dealing with privacy-sensitive information, now is the time to consider self-managed or self-hosted solutions like Pexip and Rocket.Chat. Finally, Gartner also recognizes this new market for workstream collaboration with chat and presence as a key element. So not only Gartner, but also the Swedish government work group called ISUM. I think most of you who are attending this webinar have heard of them before. They have been doing research in what a secure collaboration system should look like. And to be honest, the picture in the top right corner, I borrowed this from the ISUM work group. It describes a collaboration tool as an integrated solution offering chat, presence, video, file management, whiteboarding, and task management. Now, it's good to know that Rocket.Chat and Pexip can be a core solution that fits this ISUM concept. This concept also explains why Rocket.Chat invests in partnerships, such as with Nextcloud, with OwnCloud, with Collabor, Bluescape, NewTek, and Atlassian Jira. I realize there's a lot of text on this slide, but it summarizes the conversations we've had with some of you who are also present in this webinar today. And I suggest that once you have the recording, please take some time to read it back. The takeaway of this slide is that we have a clear understanding of what you're looking for in a Skype for Business replacement, and that you can trust us that we actually use this knowledge to build our roadmap for the months to come. Now, talking about the partnership between Pexip and Rocket.Chat, it may seem obvious that we've decided to join forces because our customers share the same requirements when it comes to data privacy and ownership. But that's not all, because there are more solutions out there that can be run in your own data centers. I'm not going into all the details of the security features that we offer, nor the fact that we offer hybrid-friendly solutions. So I quickly want to move to the interoperability part, because I think this is what sets us apart from the competition. So when choosing for the combination Pexip and Rocket.Chat, you can rest assured that we realize that we will always be part of your collaboration environment. Think about compatibility with so-called SIP endpoints, different hardware, different email systems, CRM systems. And for example, did you know that even Microsoft and Google turned to Pexip for video hardware compatibility? And did you know that we also connect with tools like Teams, Slack, Salesforce, but also chatbots and all kinds of AI tools such as ChatGPT. Besides that, from a commercial point of view, you should also know that you can buy Pexip through Rocket.Chat, or you can buy Rocket.Chat from Pexip. Anyway, to summarize this, it's clear that besides the fact that Skype for Business is end of life, I think we can seize this opportunity in time to offer you better tools to collaborate without worrying about security or privacy. And we would like to help you get rid of old technology and start a new journey together with us, with our partners in our ecosystem, and of course with our resellers. So on how to take the next step, how to start replacing Skype for Business, that is actually a topic that Michael will handle. So Michael, the floor is yours. I will handle the slides.
Fantastic.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so just to start off here as well, one of the benefits of Pexip and Rocket.Chat is that we already actually have live solutions out there that have been designed to replace Skype for Business. That, as well as the interoperability that we deliver from both sides towards Skype for Business in terms of federation, and then from Pexip in terms of our certified video interoperability towards Skype for Business. What this has led to is a wealth of experience as well as understanding of how to actually transition. And one of the things that we notice around the current buzz that exists around either sovereign collaboration or secure collaboration solutions is that everybody is talking about the what, but not many people are actually talking about the how. And in order to have the how, you need to have experience. So what we've tried to do was to put together a bit of a more simplistic guide around some of the consideration points. Everybody has now started their journey towards what they would define as their next grade unified communications platform. And each journey might look somewhat different, but it would typically start around this scope of points to consider. So this is taking into consideration the compliance that you need to be compliant to in terms of the local regulations for your market. If you are, for example, a healthcare provider, and HIPAA regulations and such, the data privacy that's required for your next generation unified communications platform. The consideration points towards how to authenticate users and the access control. So what is the right and correct way for your users to identify themselves with the unified communication platform, get access, and for you to have control mechanisms there. Network security, ranging everything from your firewalls to how you set up and retain the data inside of your network and enable the communication of video, SIP signaling, and media and such across your network. Data recovery is also very important. One of the things that I believe that has really generated the biggest focus around secure collaboration is that during the pandemic, we were forced to use solutions. And now everybody is kind of retrospectively coming back and addressing security. But actually having in your plans towards how to replace Skype for Business, disaster recovery and business continuity planning, you won't be caught out at the next pandemic or the war or such instances that may impact your operational business. Of course, ongoing maintenance and monitoring, software updates, and making sure that the system is kept up to the latest security patches, and most importantly is focusing on the end users and ensuring that they can use this new stack of tools. So these are typically the areas that we try to consult our customers on as they are about to embark on this journey, and make sure that we have a holistic approach towards how we can help our customers address these challenges and plan for these challenges as they move forward. If we go to the next step, so once you've done your considerations around what that, sorry, the next slide, Bart, but once you've done your considerations around what you want to replace Skype for Business for, you're going to need to evaluate your needs, ensure that you choose the right platform, and then start the planning for the migration. This is really where the unique selling points and combination of both technologies from Pexip and Rocket.Chat come into play, because as you're about to shift from Skype for Business, it's important that you can focus down on departments and different users, but maintain an interop towards Skype for Business. So for the benefits of our technology stack with that certification for Skype for Business, and means that you can actually focus down on the end users as part of your migration. Of course, making sure that the solution is secure and compliant to local regulations, and ensuring that you have test plans and processes. So Bart is going to talk a bit more around what we've developed with the playbooks, for example, which give you some very hands-on guides towards this. Can't talk enough about user adoption and training, because you can put the right technology into your organization, but if it doesn't get used and used correctly by your users for secure meetings, then you're going to be misusing the technology and the application towards that, and obviously making sure that we monitor and maintain the platform. Moving into the next slide, I believe that many of the customers that I've been out meeting and talking about this, they consider secure collaboration very much a desktop solution. Maybe because of the pandemic, where most people were actually on the home environment connecting through the desktop, but it is so much more. You have to consider what is the mobile access. We are all on the road. Today I'm in Oslo, I'm located in Stockholm. I'm connected today using this device, and this is how I communicate through my business days. Integrations towards other applications. So this could be your CRM system, it could be your electronic healthcare record system. Support for different communication methods, so enabling different functionalities and features of your unified communications platform. Again, pointing back to the strength of the integration from Rocket.Chat as well as Pexip towards whiteboard providers such as Collabboard. Collaboration features across the offering, and then tying this with a very simplified user experience. So what we tried to do is just give some pointers and guidance of the things to consider as you start planning for your migration, the possibilities to that. And we would definitely call to action to bring our specialists towards your organizations to help consult, guide, and advise on what are the different building blocks towards how to achieve this. I think next up, we're going to talk a bit more around the playbooks. So I'll hand over to you, Bert.
Thank you so much, Michael. It was great to hear. So what we have been doing with our customers is that we have been trying to identify what are the common use cases that you guys are using. So how do your end users use the platform today, and how are they also collaborating together with each other? So what we try to do is, first of all, on this slide, giving you guys a little bit of an overview of how we see that internal and external collaboration works in most government organizations. And what we also did is that we, first of all, tried to create this overview, but we also made this overview as part of a playbook presentation. And that's what Michael just referred to. So in this playbook presentation, we try to summarize all of the different use cases with some screenshots, with some GIFs, with some very nice explanation about how you can test all of the different steps there. So of course, you can reach out after the session, of course, to also get a copy of that playbook. But before that, let us give you a short overview of the different use cases. So thank you so much, Bart. So first of all, what we see here within one government agency, we see Anton is working there together with Mike. And what they would like to do in a lot of cases is, first, they would like to start with a secure and persistent chat, just making sure that they can send a direct message to the right colleagues. The second thing is that maybe the question is not very clear over the chat, so that they just would like to have on one click, and then within one click, moving from chat to video. So how we can make sure that if I'm communicating with between Anton and Mike, that I just can have one click moving from chat to video. The second thing, what we also in a lot of cases would like to do, is to also start scheduling our meetings. So scheduling our meetings, and for example, say next week, Tuesday at 10 o'clock, I would like to have a call with my colleagues, and I just can go to Outlook and start scheduling my meetings there. And another common use case, what we also see quite often between different colleagues, is that the whiteboarding integration and the file management integrations. So for that one, we do have a very advanced marketplace available with, for example, integrations with Collaboard, integrations with other types of whiteboarding solutions, other types of file management solutions that you all can easily combine into one platform here. In this example, we can also see that Mike can be also part of a project team. If you're working with multiple colleagues, part of a project team, you often can see that some people are working at home and some people are working in the meeting room. So how can we make sure that we also can move from the same experience that I have on my laptop, that I also can have the same type of experience also in the meeting room? That's the reason why we have completely SIP integration in that platform there, making sure that if you have your meeting devices in your meeting room, just go with one click and then joining different calls there. The second thing, of course, if we are, first of all, we just showed you the collaboration within one government agency. The second thing is then also communicating with other government agencies. So if you have an ad hoc collaboration, of course, you maybe would like to invite external people. If you have the security rights for it, you have the possibility to invite people for an external chat, but also have the possibility to invite them for an external video call. That's more an ad hoc situation there. But we also see that a lot of different government agencies work together on a structural basis. So what we do for that is that we have implemented the matrix protocol, and with the matrix protocol, we give you the possibility to exchange chat messages between direct messages, group messages, file management, all kind of solutions that you easily can communicate between two government agencies, even if the second government agency doesn't have the Rocket.Chat platform there. So that is very powerful. And then, of course, the third scenario, what we also would like to show you is that how can you also in the future also support your citizens? So we see that a lot of different governments over Europe also would like to provide additional services to their citizens. So we can help you with that one. The first option how we can help you is that provide the live chat and videos integration for your citizens. So how does it look like? It looks like, for example, on your website, people can just log on your website and just see that, hey, I have a question to renew my driver's license, for example, just asking a question. It will be routed to the right agent within agency one that right agent at that point also has the possibility to say that, hey, maybe you would like to have a video call. So also just click on one click and then also moving to a video call. So having a really live interaction between your citizens. And we also have the possibility to also provide you with a scheduling component where your citizens also can say that, hey, I would like to have an appointment again next week, Tuesday, for example, and that you just really can check, will it be an online appointment or an on-site appointment, and all of that also can be fully integrated into your website. So these are just some common use cases. What we see, first of all, in the blue box, they're just showing how you can communicate within one government agency, then between the red one, how you can communicate over multiple government agencies, and then in the green one, also how you have the possibility to provide citizen communications. But right now I can move to the fun part, because I'm happy to show you that the part in the blue box there, how we easily can, I'm happy to show you live also how you easily can communicate within one government agency. So I'm going to try to take over the screen, Bart, and let's see. And if you can give me a signal when the screen sharing is visible for you, that would be great.
Go ahead, Bert.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm opening up my desktop client, so my Rocket.Chat desktop client. Rocket.Chat is available via desktop, mobile, web, or via the APIs. In this case, I'm opening up my desktop client, and you will see here a nice welcome screen. In this nice welcome screen, you will see that it's already completely welcoming to the specific demo environment. It's a government workspace that you see here, and we have tuned it a little bit for this specific demo. You'll see, based on my security rights, I have the possibility to customize this particular workspace. I'm logged on here as a user called Bert, so of course I can manage my presence here, I can manage my different teams here, and of course I can manage all of my different account settings. In this particular example, you will see that I'm part of one or multiple teams. In this case, I'm part of the HR team and the sales team. As part of the sales team, you will see that it's not only me, but we also have multiple people who are part of the sales team. Why is this so important for you? Is that what we do is that we are synchronizing all of your users and your groups from your Active Directory to your platform here. So if you have tomorrow a new person joining the sales team, they will be automatically here participating in this particular team member. And what's also quite powerful is they will also auto-participating this particular group conversation. So we can make sure that if a new person is joining your organization or moving to another department, that they will be automatically added into the right groups, and that they will not miss any type of group conversation that they need to be joining. Then you will see that in this case, we will have multiple group conversations or channels. You can see here the Tock sales. So this is an example group conversation. In this example group conversation here, you can see that I can share text messages, of course. I have the possibility, let me just check. I have the possibility to exchange text messages. I have the possibility to exchange, for example, audio messages or video messages or attachments if I would like to do this. So I can exchange all kind of communications here. First thing what you will see here is that in this example, my colleague has exchanged some messages with me here in the past. So what I can do is I can, for example, over this one, hover on this one, send an emoji on that one. I also have the possibility to click on the three dots here. If I'm clicking on the three dots, I can see a lot of different options here. All of these options depending on your security role, if you can see them or if you can't see them. But what is something that we think is quite powerful for you guys is that we have, if I'm clicking here on my info button, I can see that who has read these messages. So if I'm exchanging my my message with a whole group of people, I can see that who has read all of this message and when have they read these messages. This is, of course, quite powerful if you're communicating with your colleagues to get a little bit of an overview of when did somebody see these messages. The next thing what you also will see is that I'm also able to exchange any type of messages, but in this case, I'm going to exchange here a phone number. So what the system will do automatically, so it will identify that this was blocked due to some sensitive content. I can click on more info, and you can see that the system has identified its sensitive information and it's a phone number. Right now it's pending approval. So my manager is getting a notification at this point, and he can see that, oh, my manager is getting a notification. And what type of notification did he get? He can see that a Bert is trying to share some sensitive content in a private group DocSales. This is the message. Would you like to approve it or not? I'm going to say that I want to approve it. So as a manager, I'm approving it right now. And I'm going back to the channel, and I see after that the message is visible here. So it's a quite powerful way of just, of course, making sure that you also can protect which type of information will be exchanged between multiple people. So I have here multiple types of group conversations. I can exchange text messages, file messages, but of course I also have the possibility to click here on the call button. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to start a group call. And when I'm starting up a group call, you can see that I'm starting up a PEXIP call. In this PEXIP call, you can already see that it's completely white labeled again, so that you will see that it's a nice background. It's a nice welcome message here. By default, he's choosing all of my preferred devices, that which type of camera, which type of microphone I would like to use. I'm clicking here on join now. And what will happen right now is that by default, I'm added here as the host of this particular group call.
You are the only participant in the conference.
You can maybe hear that I'm the only participant at the moment. It's, of course, it's labeled that it's a restricted meeting because it's a secured group where I'm communicating with. You can also see already several types of plugins, like a plugin for a whiteboarding integration. We have plugins to send some love, some smileys, and anything like that. It's quite powerful to have like a really good overview of how you can set up a secured group call here. So I'm right now going to stop this call. There's one thing that I first would like to see you is that I just showed you here that different types of group conversations. If I'm clicking here on new channel, then I can also see that which type of group conversations can I start. I'm going to start a channel that's called test. I can set up a private channel. So that means that only invited users can access this channel, or I can also, everybody can access this. If I have enabled this one, we can also say that, and if you have the right security access, that means that you also can set up federated channels. So that means that you have the possibility to federate between government agency 1 and government agency 2, so they can easily and securely communicate with each other. And of course, I also can set up an end-to-end encrypted channel or a broadcasting message and then inviting multiple members. But what I really would like to do at this point is that I would also like to have a chat with Bart. So I'm trying to reach to Bart. I can go here to my direct messages and trying to figure out that and sending a text message to Bart, or maybe also Bart can try to give me a call. And you see what's happening at this point. So Bart is giving me a call. You will see a notification. It's an audio notification and a visual notification. And if I'm clicking on accept, what will happen on this point is, again, my video call will start with my preferred devices. I will click on join now. And then I will have a direct message here, so direct call here between Bart and myself. And it's saying right now, from the moment that Bart has joined the call, then he's just going to have the chat here between both of us. So as you see that I'm moving again from the chat to the video with just one click here. So it's a quite powerful way of moving from the one to the other. So I showed you right now a little bit on the integration possibilities. Another few very quick examples I would like to highlight is that we have a very advanced marketplace here available, just that you have the possibility to extend the platform. In this marketplace, you will see that you have possibilities, if I'm clicking on this one, some possibilities to, for example, add reminders, out of offices, Zapier integration, bots, chatbots integration, all kind of nice solutions that you can integrate here. And of course, we also have a very advanced administration interface. If I'm clicking on the workspace tab here, I'm just going to show you one example from the administration options. You will see here all of the different users. For all different users that we have available, you can see what are the different roles that they have. And we have here a role-based permission tab. In this role-based permission tab, you can see all of the different security roles that we have available. And you also can check for each different security role, what are the features that those persons can do and that they can't do. So I can say this role is able to add team members. This role is able to view audit trails. This role is able to ban users, for example. So we can make it very advanced here. And of course, you can also create your own security roles. So this was the first part that I would like to show you from the live demo from our combined platform. And now I would like to hand over back to the screen, back to Bart. Perfect. Thank you so much, Bart. So of course, Michael just also already mentioned, it's not only about what we can deliver, it's also about how you can deliver and also how you can adopt this complete solution here. So what we see is that we have created an adoption path for the government. And in this adoption path, we see that there are multiple steps here that how people are start using the platform. So in a lot of cases, we see that people just start with a chat solution within the platform or video solution within the platform. After that, as I see as a next step, is that making sure that they also can have that they can replace one platform as a replacement for Skype for Business and for Microsoft Teams. So delivering a complete on-premise solutions where they're able to migrate all of the information from one platform to the other one. Then we also see that in the next step that a lot of cases that our government agencies also would like to enable external collaboration. So in the external collaboration is able to set up a federation between one or multiple government agencies so they easily can start communicating with each other and start chatting with each other in a secured way and video calling in a secured way. And after that, we see also that we have several government agencies who are also moving after that to the citizen engagement, where they have the possibility to integrate, like I just said, chat and video on the website, but we also can integrate the same type of functionality with WhatsApp, with SMS, with other types of channels here. So it's quite powerful just to see that we have a full adoption path for you guys available. I think Bart will share something more about this in the end, but we are here to not only deliver you guys, let's say, the software, but also, let's say, how we can help you, how we have done it with other customers here. You can move to the next slide, Bart.
Perfect. I believe that's an intro to me. Thank you very much for the demonstration, but I think I always learn a lot more each and every single time I go through a demonstration about the breadth of the solution from Rocket.Chat when it comes to chat. And I think this just basically reinforces the technology partnership that we have between both Pexip and Rocket.Chat, where we're aligned on our separate roadmaps around what we're going to deliver individually, but then also aligned about what we're going to deliver together. This is, as I mentioned, a solution that is currently out to 80,000 users. We are hoping to expand that footprint drastically, and as part of that, we're looking at bringing in a lot of different features and functions as we develop the solution. So what you see here is an overview of the different functions that we have in play. These are not committed dates, so there could be some change towards the dates, but just so that you can actually get an understanding around what are some of the main features that we're looking to address and bring together so that we can further enhance the solution of what you've seen already in the demonstration today. The one that I'm most excited about is the embedded video client, which actually sits native within the Rocket.Chat UI. Because for me as an end user, it's really keeping that end user within the holistic same place and embedded within the same channel or the same chat discussion that they have point to point. So very much looking forward to that feature. We have additional features in terms of native integrations with Rocket.Chat for persistent chat, participant views, everything ranging from enabling SIP video systems to connect into VC calls as well. And one of the things that we did earlier this year was that we had the pleasure of welcoming over 30 public bodies to Oslo to a user day. And the strongest feedback that we received from the audience was breakout rooms. So you will be pleased to see that this is on the roadmap. We have a commit from our engineering team. We've even got some prototypes now already functioning and up and running. But this brings me very nicely onto the next slide, which is an overview around how we're delivering towards this feature. So embedded within Rocket.Chat, you can expect breakout rooms as part of our next release towards this, which will give you the possibility to either manually select participants into different breakout rooms or for you to use our automatic selector. Reach out to our team. We've got a series of overviews around how we're planning to develop this solution and the first feasible MVP solution that we're currently working with towards this as well. But super excited about this, and it really sort of shows the feedback circle that we have with the customers following these user days, is that you ask and we're putting our heads together to look at how we can deliver that as well. So a bit more about what's to come in the future.
And in that sense, there's maybe one thing I would like to add, Michael. It's neat how we're putting our heads together. It's maybe also good to re-emphasize also that our engineering teams, our product management teams, they're sitting together on a very regular basis to just doing some brainstorming, checking how we can improve user experience, how we can improve the best customer requirements there. And that's quite nice to see that this type of collaboration just from both sides, just to see that how we're delivering together a very nice and combined solution.
It's super cool to see, especially when we're eating our own dog food, as we say in the industry, where we actually have our engineering teams connected using Pexip and Rocket.Chat, and this is how they're communicating on a day-to-day basis as well. So it's fantastic to see.
Just a question from my side, Mike. I moved quite quickly to this slide. Is there anything else you would like to cover when it comes to the roadmap?
No, I think we touched pretty much on the main draw-out features, and obviously we have a Q&A at the end as well. So if there's any Q&A, I'll take questions there.
All right. Thanks, Michael. We have a couple of next steps, but let's do some Q&A now. I've seen one question in the chat, and that's actually a question to you, Bert. The question is if you can show how answering in a thread looks like.
And I first have to unmute myself. Yes, I'm happy to show that for sure. So let me quickly.
I will let you take over the screen sharing, Bert.
Sure. So I'm going to show you how the current solution looks like. I know that our user experience team is working on this also. So it's just, let's say, if there's any feedback, happy to hear that feedback, by the way. So I'm going to share right now here again my screen where you can see that I'm back in the Dock sales channel, and you will see that multiple messages already been shared. If I'm hovering over these messages, you can see that I have the possibility to click on 3 dots. I can click on, for example, add interactions, but I also can click on reply and thread. And if I'm clicking on a reply and thread, that I can say thank you, or I can say something else. If I'm clicking on this one, a message here also will be shared as a last message in the channel, or I can also define it as this one. If you can see that in this particular thread, I can start in a full conversation, but it's maybe also good to see that I also have the possibility to, for example, start highlighting people and just say that, hey, I would like to have hey, Marwan, can you please have a look? So what will happen right now in this particular thread, you can see that I highlighted Marwan, and he will get a different type of notification of this thread also in his overview, and then he will probably has the possibility to quickly see this one and see that he's been personally tagged here within this chat. Any questions for this part, or?
No, I think that was it. Thanks, Bert.
Perfect.
We have another question, what a Rocket.Chat installation on-premise looks like. I don't think you can answer that in a couple of seconds.
No, but I can maybe highlight a few things. So the first thing is that we're going to sit together with you guys. What are your requirements and why we have several types of customers who would like to have an air-gapped environment. So an air-gapped environment means that there's no connection to the outside world. So that's one possibility that we can set it up. Oh no, I see. I'm reading also some messages in the chat, so it's not with 1,000 services. No, no way. So the next thing is that we are going to have a check also that which type of requirements do you have from a user base, and then we're going to help you with the sizing exercise. We are working together with a lot of partners of ours. We're also working together with a lot of customers, and we have already heard from the rest that we are quite lightweight to start deployment. So I can't go into numbers right now, just high level, but just it's not 1,000 servers, just to get an overview. And so we can help you with that exercise and making sure that we set up a deployment specific for you guys. That makes sense. You're welcome. Yeah, and I think that if we're starting with this type of deployments, you will, I think Bach just already shared also how you can start with the preparation of your deployments. Michael, is there anything from your side that you would also like to add here? Or?
No, I think from the deployment side, it's incredibly flexible. So one of the things that we don't expect from PEXIP is that when you deploy our solution is that you need to know a new standard. For example, if you're currently working in Hyper-V, then you can deploy PEXIP in Hyper-Vs and VMware. You can also use some of the more popular clouds, and we're currently investigating with some sovereign hosting providers as well, where you could actually deploy a PEXIP Rocket.Chat solution as well. We, as you mentioned, Bert, typically take a discussion around what's your requirements. One of the differences with PEXIP is that we do the video processing server side, and that does have a lot of benefits for the end customers because we reduce the burden on the client. What I'll do is I'll actually add just our documentation page around our server design guidelines and such so that you can have a look through there. But it's very, very scalable as a video platform and easy to set up and to get running.
Yeah,
thank you, guys.
And
we have 3 minutes left.
Maybe one last note on that one. We also have some combined architectures just to show as an examples to some customers. So if we would like to have a follow-up call, we can also explain some things about it.
All right, we already notified you guys in the chat that you can request some interesting materials from us. So we have a government handbook, we have a proof of concept kickstart plan, and we have a playbook that covers the use cases that Bert has talked about. So if you would like to receive these materials, please go ahead, go to the polls and vote yes, and then we'll send these materials to the email address that you've left with us. So there are a couple of minutes left online, so please go ahead and do so. I can also imagine that now that you've seen us online, that you would like to meet the team in person, and there's an opportunity to do so. So please mark your calendar for September the 21st. Like Mike already mentioned, we already did the user days in Oslo. In September, we'll be in Stockholm with the PEXIP and the Rocket.Chat team. So hopefully we will meet you there. For now, I want to thank you all for visiting this webinar and stay tuned for the next one. And thanks, Michael. Thanks, Bert.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.